Hi, I'm Dark Shades, and today I'm wondering, how do we know we're right? Well, it's a difficult one because my right is someone else's wrong, isn't it? So we have an attitude or we get our opinion based on how we were raised. We were raised by parents, we were raised by guardians, we were raised by, priests, some of us were raised by nuns. Some of us were raised by sporting schools, some of us were raised in foster homes, some of us were raised in all different scenarios. And when you're raised in different scenarios, and it's those people who raised you who are giving you their opinion when you're young, and that you grow up with as an adolescent and a teenager and subsequently an adult, how do you know what they've taught you is right? And therefore, how do you know what you are now acknowledging is right is actually right? Some people are so opinionated. They believe they know what is right because it's in their gut. Their instinct tells them it's right. Or because they've researched and the research tells them they're right. And so you have these people, advocating about different causes because they believe they're right. And they're not always right though. But because they believe they are, some people believe it's right to kill somebody. People believe it's right to get revenge because somebody's hurt them. In their mind, when they're meting out justice, they believe what they're doing is right. So how do you know that what you're doing or how you're thinking or what you believe is right? How do you know that? It does mean questioning everything you've ever done. It does mean unlearning everything you were ever taught to find out exactly what your core believes and what resonates within you. Personally, I only know what's right for me. I don't know what's right for somebody else. And the only way I know what's right for me is if it feels right. I can't always justify why I react the way I do. I've still got work to do there. But I do know that in certain situations, I don't feel right. And I can analyze it and I can question it and I can write it down and I can have my little disappointment diaries, my anger diaries, my resentment diaries. I can do all of that kind of homework. But it doesn't necessarily answer my questions. So, people say you can't go on your emotions and your feelings, but your feelings are there and your emotions are there to protect you. But I think if your emotions are extreme, that is when you have to kind of hold back, take a rain check and think, hey, what's going on here? There's something that's not quite right, which means I might have an issue about something else. So maybe I might not be right about this thing. Maybe what they're saying I can benefit from. So sometimes, even though you believe you're right, you should always be open to another person's opinion. Always be open to another person's thought process. Always try to see both sides of the coin. Don't be so black and white or straight-laced or inflexible that you can't take on other people's viewpoints, that you can't see why other people believe what they believe and how and why they believe it. So there's nothing wrong if you're not right, because we can't always be right, and we mustn't. And there's nothing more annoying than someone who always believes they're right. But what is good about being right is when you can actually question it, question your beliefs, question where it came from. Is it really of you, or is it because somebody told you that years ago and you've taken it on as a fact? How much have you researched that? How much have you looked into all of your feelings and wondered and investigated where they actually stem from? A lot of our feelings stem from something that has got nothing to do with our present. And yet we hold on to the present, and we hold on to our beliefs, and we hold on to our opinions as though they're all we've got. We need to make ourselves vulnerable. We need to question who we are. We need to question our beliefs, and we need to question whether or not what we believe is right, or whether we believe it only because somebody else said it's right. Okay, that's all for now.